I don't get it. Well, stay tuned. I got a little information for you. A little bit of a plea from me. Keep watching. Before I begin, I want to make sure that everyone understands it is important, very important, that you follow all the advice and the guidelines that's been given to us by the professionals and, of course, your medical doctors. So please heed those and do not forget those. What we have been told by the professionals, who I hope know what they're talking about, is that the average person is not necessarily at any increased risk of catching the virus, and if they were to, they're not necessarily at risk of having the more complicated symptoms. However, people that have immune compromised systems they could be, potentially. I will put in the description box below a link to a place where you can go, and it better describes this than I can, and it also gives a more specific list of what it is that makes you immune compromised. Because I have 6 autoimmune diseases, and my first thought was, oh no, I'm in serious danger. But that's not necessarily true. It's when you are on immune suppressant drugs, chemotherapy patients, disease-modifying drugs, some of those for MS and things of that nature. I personally am at an increased risk for several reasons, but it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily at a higher risk of getting the virus. It's of the fact that if I were to be exposed to it and catch the virus, I could be at a higher risk of having the more complicated situation and symptoms. So that is what we need to pay attention to, is if you are compromised. Everyone needs to protect themselves. Even if you are not compromised, you could still catch this. We just need to protect each other. So make sure you remember that. And be sure and check out the link I put in the description box below. The main reason I wanted to do this video was to speak to everyone about not panicking. You know, and we need to use common sense. It's very important, especially right now. I've seen so much selfishness go on in stores. People almost fighting other people to get a product that they don't necessarily need 1,000 of, or 10 of even. It's sad, and I think it needs to stop. So I'm asking everyone to use common sense. Yes, protect your family. No one is denying you the right to get the products you need and take care of you and your family. And we want everyone to have that same opportunity. You know, I recently read a story on Facebook about a lady who has a spinal cord injury and does daily catheterizations and also bowel programs. And because some people may not understand, when you have a spinal cord injury, it doesn't necessarily mean that you just can't walk. It can paralyze the intestines, the bowels, and it can also paralyze the bladder. So, this lady was looking for rubber gloves and hand sanitation because she had ran out. And finally, after many stores, I forget, it was like 5 or 6, she listed them. She just succumbed to tears. She just began crying in the middle of the store in an empty aisle because she didn't know if she was going to be able to poop, a natural function we all do. How sad is that? And it's not necessary. You see, The stores only had in stock what they normally would stock. And so when people came rushing in and cleared the shelves, the supply chain was disrupted, but not by the coronavirus, by Americans who were panicking unnecessarily. Those people don't realize that by doing that, people such as myself and others who suffer illnesses for whatever reason, whether that be financially, transportation, or what have you, they can't go and afford to stock up astronomical amounts of products. They buy them when they need them. And so when they decide that they do need them, the product's not available. So please understand, those are the people that are probably at most risk of this virus. And healthy people who aren't even sick, may never be sick, or hoarding the products, and then people that need them the most are not able to protect themselves. So let's be fair. Let's take from the stores what we need for our families. Let's not over purchase items. And let's also take the time to check on our family, loved ones, and neighbors. I have seen Americans come together during tragic events that just blew my mind. I know we have it in us to be good citizens. So let's check on our elderly, check on our people that we think may need a little help. There are ways to go about this so we can be there for each other. And all of us can have the opportunity to get what we need to take care of ourselves and our own families. So stay safe. Do all you must do to keep your family and yourself safe. Follow all guidelines. Stay informed so you know what those guidelines are. And seek medical advice if you have any symptoms. Call your doctor and follow whatever advice they give you to decide what your next step needs to be. So, I hope everyone is healthy and stays that way. Stay safe and make sure you spend some quality time while we're self-quarantining ourselves. Let's make good use of that time and spend it with our family, maybe in prayer, maybe in Bible study, maybe reading a good book, or playing games with our children. There's so many things we can do to make this time pass by quickly. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you and be happy.